What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at a blade that gives us a lot to talk about, a lot of things to size up. You definitely want to check this out. Stick around. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for joining 411 Outdoors. A special thanks to all my subscribers and a warm welcome to all the new visitors. It's been a long time since we talked about some of the blades from the CRKT product line, but today that cycle comes to an end and we're going to be looking at the CRKT Shrill. Now, this design has been out for several years now, designed by Matthew Lurch. I don't think anyone can deny the attractiveness of the knife. We've got us an 8 CR13 MOV dual edge, and this blade is 4.77 inches. And those are some of the basic specs you can look at. There are more specs on the product website, but let's dive a little deeper and talk about the advantages and disadvantages of this blade. And the first thing I want to talk about is carrying the knife around. Something I say in a lot of my videos is that there's a lot of great blades you can buy. There's a lot of great looking knives out there. They're really cool looking. The question is, how do they carry? Do they carry comfortably? Do they carry securely? Well, it's very obvious that this is a boot knife, and a lot of people who are wearing thinner pants will probably carry this down in a boot. That's the best way to carry it. With thicker pants, you may see a pocket carry here. As you can tell, this is the clip for the sheath. Some may even carry this outside of the boot, depending upon whether or not they have like a special attachment. One thing you don't have is a locked-in secure feature. It comes out very easily. But I will say, if you have the right boot set up, you can carry this very comfortably. The Shrill is a slasher. That's your best option with this particular blade. And it does come uber sharp. Yes, you can stab and thrust with this, but you stand to put yourself in great danger if you do not hit soft tissue while defending yourself. If you hit soft tissue, you're going to be okay, but the moment this hits bone or something like that, you run the risk of your hand sliding down both sides of this blade and injuring you terribly. There are some alterations that can be made in traditional grip to give you a little more reinforcements, and that is getting like a Dremel and making your own jimping along this groove here. I've seen a couple of videos out there, maybe at least one, where some jimping was made. You could use a Dremel tool, anything to create some jimping there. Gives you a little bit more reinforcement, but not a ton. The problem with reverse grip is this lanyard hole gets in the way. Now, you have the option of taking something and cutting off this lanyard hole. It would give you a much more flat surface to rest your thumb upon to give yourself a brace. But this here, as it stands, is a very difficult brace for the thumb. It's not something I would recommend. Something else to be considered about this design is the survival capabilities. For example, this could be added to a spear for hunting and fishing. This would also make possibly a very good arrowhead to be attached. Now, I say that because one time I did a video showing where I was taping on and attaching little throwing knives to the end of a practice arrow, and basically what I made myself was the perfect apocalyptic weapon. I was able to shoot those arrows within a decent range, very solid, and get crazy penetration. So whether or not you think that's outlandish, this could be used for survival, spearing, all sorts of things you could use to attach this to. Now, this is a somewhat thin blade with a very thin, sharp tip. I might even go as far as to say that this could possibly be a one and done type of self-defense knife, again, depending upon how this blade lands or hits the assailant. It's very possible that this tip could take immediate damage on a very hard surface. I see the Shrill as a backup blade. This could cost you about 60 or 70 bucks, depending upon where you go out and get it. I think it's about 60 on CRKT's website. Truth be told, a lot of people are not going to be able to carry this blade anyway. Double edges are highly regulated. In some areas you can carry it. A lot of areas you definitely couldn't conceal this. If you're the type of person that likes to open carry blades, like you don't mind sheath hanging down your legs or a big handle sticking up outside of your pocket, you can carry a lot more than the average Joe, but more and more people like to conceal their blades, and the longer I carry blades around and experiment with different knives and how well they do carry, the more and more I like to have my stuff concealed. And this does fall into the category of budget blade. And a lot of times with budget blades, you have to look at workarounds for certain things as far as reinforcement and the way you carry it. I always like to end with a question, or at least I try to. Do you like the CRKT Shrill? Do you carry it around? How do you carry it? Do you do a lot of training with it? What's your thoughts on this particular knife? I'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to catching you next time. Take care.